Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Trailblazer podcast. My name is Prathika Kalyan, and joining us today is the one and only Adanna Amalaha, who will be starring in the first school play of the year, The Little Shop of Horrors, which is a musical, and its performance will be running from Thursday, October 17th to Saturday, October 19th at the Raymond E. Hartfield Pack. How are you doing today, Adanna?
I'm doing great.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining us today. Before we sort of delve into what the play is about, can you tell me and our listeners a bit about you and your background in acting as well as your involvement in the math theater program?
Yeah, so I've been acting since I was in fourth grade, and I took a drama class, and I realized that that was one of my favorite things to do. I could finally express myself, and ever since then, I've been doing all kinds of acting things. I was in plays, like starting from Mary Poppins to High School Musical, which I played Kelsey in High School Musical, and even last year, I went to NYU for screen acting, and I got college credit there. I got to stay there for 4 weeks in the dorms and explore New York.
That's awesome. I feel like you have a really as an aspiring actress, you have a pretty solid background of acting so far. Tell me, with your involvement in Mary Poppins and High School Musical, was that a part of your school's productions, or was that something outside of school?
So when I first started to enjoy doing acting, it was before my school really had any musicals or anything. So I had to do an outside of school program called Kids Acting, because the only things that my school were doing were the first musical I was in was Lewis and Clark the musical. So not really the brightest variety.
Nice. I love it. And can you tell me, apart from your um goals as an aspiring, oh, by the way, I must say, as an aspiring actress, are there any, I don't know, famous actresses or any actors who you look up to and are the inspiration behind your goals?
Yeah, there's this one actress. Her name is Marsai Martin, and she inspires me because you may know her from being in Little or Blackish, and she is an actress, but she also wrote Little, I'm pretty sure, and produced it, and she got to do all three of those things, and which I find is so impressive because usually you just do one thing, but I want to be able to do all of it because I enjoy doing all of them.
Nice. I think she's a great inspiration behind your goals as an aspiring actress. Anyway, that's awesome. So, can you tell us a bit apart from your goals as an aspiring actress, can you tell us about your interest in theater arts and what made you audition for the play?
Well, so I auditioned for this play because number one, it's the last one. I've been in all of them, or at least tried to be in all of them since freshman year. And also, it's honestly just where I feel at home because the people there, and also just it is how I like to express myself. I can relieve my pent up emotions, anything that I'm feeling, and when I'm acting, I just feel at home on the stage.
Nice. Do you feel with what you're saying, do you feel when you're on the stage and you're acting, you feel um, you're acting and portraying your character as if no one's watching, as if there's no audience and you're just being yourself?
Yeah, when I'm acting, for me, I'm teleported into. I am this person within. It's like when you're a kid and you're playing pretend. If you're playing house with your friends, it's like that, but on a stage for people to watch.
Nice. I think that's great. And um, overall, would you say so? Whenever you're portraying a character, like, how does that work for you? Do you feel you do your best to not just like enhance the character's personality, but you also like include parts of your own personality to like further enhance the personality of the character? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, I definitely learned over the past few years that for a character to be more believable, you need to take a little bit of yourself in there and add your own personal experiences. For example, one of the characters in the show, Audrey, she has an abusive boyfriend, and in order to really like play that part, you need to unlock a part of yourself, like a time that you would felt similar to how she's feeling, similar to how any of your characters are feeling, or else it's not going to be as believable. You need to like access your own emotions.
You need to like unlock your own emotions to, you know, make the character to pretty much like bring the character to life.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's really important as an actress. So I'm glad to hear that. Anyway, could you like tell us a little bit about like an overview of like the Little Shop of Horrors and like, you know, its plot for those like unfamiliar with the story, such as myself?
Yeah, so there may be a few spoilers in here. So Little Shop of Horrors is about this guy named Seymour, and he works in a flower shop owned by a man named Mr. Mushnick, and he works there with Audrey, who they have a little bit of a romance going between them, but it's more just like a crush. And so Seymour, he loves plants. He's trying to figure out how to bring business to the shop. So he finds a really strange and interesting plant, and he puts it in the window. It starts attracting a ton of business, but turns out the only way he can keep this plant alive is if he gives it blood, or it's carnivorous, it eats people. What is he going to do about this? And he's trying to battle like with, should I keep feeding it, or should I just let it die?
Oh my goodness, that seems pretty intriguing. So, obviously, I think we're only going to find out what happens if we attend the play. So, for those of you listening, I guess you'll figure out the solution to this
It's
intriguing
a very
plot.
interesting ending, and it's
Yes.
different from the movie.
Okay, interesting. Wait, so like is the movie basically like, you know, is its plot a bit like twisted from the original like story plot?
Yeah, actually, they when they made the movie, they said that the ending was too dark. They didn't like the ending, and they didn't think it would play well with the viewers. But I think that the ending in the play is better than the movie.
Okay, I would think so too. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Anyway, can you discuss, so like since this play it's a musical, so like could you like discuss, you know, the musical aspects of it, as well as like how like why the show has like remained popular over the years?
Yeah, so first of all, the actresses in our show, all the actors, they are phenomenal singers. They are really good. And I think if you go see the show, you're going to see how, like, exceptional their voices are. And the songs are amazing because they have great harmonies. They're so like catchy. They'll be stuck in your head for days. And also just even if you haven't seen Little Shop of Horrors, once you hear the music, there's a chance that you know the songs because so many people just know them, but they don't know where they're from.
So like what are some of the songs that we may be familiar with or not?
I think the most popular one would be Suddenly Seymour.
Okay.
It's like, can I play a clip?
Sure, I guess. You could do it at the end where we'll
Yeah.
have a little segment, but okay, that's nice. I feel like we may be familiar with it if we listen to it, but
Yeah. Also, like the main song that's called Little Shop of Horrors. It's just, yeah,
that's like the main, like the title track.
yeah, and there may be some that have turned into TikTok trends. A lot of TikTok trends are musicals.
Interesting. I should be sure to check those out because I may be familiar with it, but like obviously I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, that's really nice. So can you tell us, so like since you're part of the play, we want to get to know like more about the character you play in the show, and like can you like share some like insights into the character's personality and like their motivations and like overall like what role do they play in the story?
So I'm in the ensemble, so I'm not in it very much, but I had to create a character for myself. And the character that I created, I was told that she had to be rich. So her grandfather is like rich, he owns a business, he has money, and it's just been passed down to her. But she's the reason she's like down on Skid Row is because her boyfriend lives there, and her boyfriend is not approved by her family, and but she wants to help him. She still loves him, and she wants to find a way to be with him.
Nice. Can you remind me the name of your character?
Her name is Azalea Blossom.
Nice. What a great name. I feel like she's trying to blossom into becoming a person. Yeah, I'm really bad at puns and whatever.
Her last name is Blossom because the three main Zoo-Up girls, their names are Crystal, Ronette, and Chiffon, which are based off of bands in, like, I think it was the 60s.
Okay.
And,
wait, are they the ones, okay, are the Ronettes the one that, like, did, like, are they the ones that, like, sang the Christmas song, the sleigh bells jingling?
They might, I don't know.
There's a name, like, similar to that, but
yeah,
then again, I'm not sure.
Because there's the Ronettes, the Chiffons, and the Crystals, I think.
I might be familiar with the Ronettes if they're the ones that sang the sleigh bells song, but interesting. Yeah. They are pretty old, so it might be it. Anyway, nice. So I remembered earlier we were talking about, like, you know, how you, like, bring the characters to life. So basically for Azalea, like, how are you, like, working on bringing her to life?
I have to connect it to something with me. Like, for her, she really wants to be with her boyfriend. Although I don't have that exact situation, I can find something that I want really badly. Like, if it were, like, how I want to become an actress, but becoming an actress in this world is really hard to actually get to somewhere where you can make good money or you can actually be in the things you want to be in. And so I try to, like, use those real emotions to portray her own.
Nice. So you feel like, you know, you want to, like, really think about yourself being in her place and, you know, sort of, I guess, maybe have like, you know, some empathy towards it, and then you bring that to life.
Yeah, if this was, like, a big lesson that I learned while I was at NYU, and I think it did change my acting for the better, and I've taught it to other people, and they've improved as well, because it really helps.
Nice. I think that's great, and, you know, I think especially for maybe some of our listeners who might be aspiring actors, I feel like maybe this is a great tip for them to, like, you know, sort of, like, teach them how in order to bring your character to life, it's important to imagine yourself in their shoes, basically, and, like, feel their emotions and therefore bring them out.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more realistic.
It does. I so agree. Anyway, so are there any, like, do you feel like personally there are, like, any, like, challenges or perhaps, like, any, like, you know, rewards of, like, portraying your character on stage, or do you think overall it's a piece of cake? I don't know.
It is a bit challenging to just, like, really bring the sadness, because when I enter the stage, I'm just like, oh, I'm better than you, I'm rich. But then I have to, like, find the right time to transition to I am also sad too. It's not all just sunshine and rainbows for me. And also, because the first song, it is pretty sad. Like, it's all the people on Skid Row just talking about how much they hate their lives, pretty much.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Do you think the audience will tear up? Is it, like, really that emotional? And
I'm not sure for the first song, but definitely for some of Audrey's songs.
Okay, nice. You know, I feel like especially for a lot of, like, the most famous, like, and great musicals, I feel like the depth of, like, you know, the emotions really, like, bring it to life and make it seem realistic in our society today. So I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what this play will do and, like, what we'll learn from it, you know? So that's great. Can you, like, tell us a little more about, like, you know, your experience, like, preparing for your role and, like, working with your cast members during rehearsals? Because obviously I know that in order to make this this musical, like, extremely successful, which, like, of course it will be, I'm pretty sure the process behind it is really just extremely exhausting. So, like, can you share, like, what it's been like for you?
Yeah, so we started off, we had rehearsals pretty much every day, and they would go until around 7. And as time went on, as time gets closer to the show, we have longer and longer rehearsals, this week going until 10:30 every night. And it is exhausting, but it's also very fun. It's also very interesting to see the show go from being us just sitting around a table reading lines to we have an actual plant puppet and it's huge, and like the stage rotates, which is the first time we've ever done something like that, which I find it's super cool.
How is that gonna, like, work? Like, what do you,
We have people turning the shop. You can see the inside of the shop, but also see the outside of the shop.
Oh, okay. I think I can sort of visualize what it's gonna look like, but oh my god, that's gonna be so exciting. And, like, can you tell me a little bit about, like, do you know the process behind making the giant singing plant puppet? Like, how are they making it work?
So we have we rented a puppet, but we have there's I think 4 puppeteers in our cast, and they're inside the puppet, just like, I don't even know what they're doing in there, but they're making it look like this plant is really alive, and it's really impressive to see, just because the plant sings, so they have to know all the lines that the singer also knows.
So, like, is there gonna be, like, a cast member, like, singing for the plant, or does the
Yes.
plant have, like, some
Yes,
recorded thing?
there's a cast member, Kiavani. She's so talented, and she plays the plant. But normally the person who just like does the voicing is not really featured, but she gets to be on stage next to the plant during the whole show, which I think is really good for her, so that she gets recognized.
Nice. I think that's great. I'm, like, really excited to see how it's gonna work. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be really entertaining because, like, do you think, like, for this play, based on whatever you told me, do you think, this is probably gonna be the play where the tech design has, like, gone like all out compared to previous plays, like plays in the past?
Yeah, I was really not expecting us to have a rotating stage.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really impressive, and some days actors got to go help, and we got to like paint stuff and build stuff, and I think they got all new wood this year, so our set's going to look different than it has in previous years. I think previously we had like the same sets of stairs as before, but now we have new things, and I think it just opens up doors for what we can do.
Nice. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of it. I think it's going to be amazing, and I feel like everyone who's listening to this episode should also go check it out because I think it's just going to be really successful, and I think, honestly, you guys will have outdone yourselves compared to the past because, like, of all the plays I've heard about, I feel like this is the one that has really intrigued me and, like, has made me want to come attend the play.
Yeah.
But I have attended plays in the past, not saying that they're bad, but Math Theater always outshines itself, so.
Yeah, and Miss G is such a great teacher for all the leads. I've seen so much improvement. Like, they were already fantastic before, but now they just, it's, honestly, seeing them perform is mind-blowing because they have so much talent, and I feel like there could potentially be some stars who go to our school who will one day be famous.
I believe so too, and I think you're probably going to be one of them, obviously, because, you're an aspiring actress with, a solid background based on the activities you've done and the plays you've been involved in too. Anyway, nice. For including myself and for the listeners who are potentially and should be interested in attending the play, can you provide us with some, information and details regarding showtimes, ticket availability, and etc.?
Yeah, we have 3 shows. The 17th, 18th, and 19th of October. All of the shows are at 7 p.m. Yeah, and you can buy tickets. I think the tickets will be in Mav Mail or on the school's website. There's a ticket website on the school.
All right, nice. Will tickets also be sold at the door, or do you have to pre-purchase them?
I'm pretty sure you have to pre-purchase them because shows get sold out.
Yeah, I understand, because Math Theater is just so great, and everyone will be rushing to get tickets. So awesome! I'm really looking forward to buying a ticket to the show. And for those of you guys listening, like I said earlier, you should be interested in attending the play and check out Adanna's amazing work, and sort of see for yourself how she's gonna really become a great star one day. And do you have any advice for the listeners who maybe want to follow your footsteps?
I'd say if you want to become an actor, you have to put yourself out there. Nobody's going to find you if you don't. I started a Backstage account, and I actually got a commercial job. I've gotten other ones. And it's really about just don't be afraid. Be cautious about the bad situations, but don't be afraid. And if you're going to be acting, just try things. People get cast based off of their acting choices and not being like the rest of the people.
Nice. I think that's great advice. Well, anyway, I guess that wraps up today's episode. So thank you, Adanna, for joining us today. And for those of y'all who are listening, please stay tuned for future episodes. Until then, I'm Prithika Kalyan, and I'm signing off. Bye.
Bye.